Welcome to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine Hy-Vee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, here's Tony Tone.
Hello, friends. Welcome to Hy-Vee Today. This is Tony Tone. It is Thursday, the 29th of May. I have to say that not working on Monday is awesome. So I would like to just not work any future Mondays. And for all of us watching, I would like to just give you the day off because you blink and all of a sudden it's... Did I say it's Thursday? Is it Wednesday? Ryan, did you let me fast forward a day? Ryan's saying it's Wednesday, Tony, the 29th, not Thursday. Wishful thinking on my part. We're glad that you're with us. Glad that those storms that were just here all night. I got coffee on my nose. Is that what's happening? Those storms just kind of took their time coming through Muscatine last night. A lot of rain, which doesn't bode well for the river levels, but it seems like for the most part the really severe stuff missed us again. So with all that being said, we have a busy show. We're going to get right to our first guests who are with us and a lot of excitement to talk about. Joe Wieskamp is back on the show. Iowa Hawkeye, former Muskie, and Brett Olson, the boss, executive director of the Muscatine Community Wide. Joe, it's so great to see you.
Yeah,
welcome back. Brett, always a pleasure.
Good to see you, buddy.
I see you all the time. Joe, I haven't seen you in a while, and I want to maybe recap a little bit of your season, but we're here to talk about this Iowa basketball camp that is coming up at the Muscatine Community Y in July, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Is it the 8th to the 11th?
You got
those
it.
dates
8 to
right?
11,
Okay.
yep.
So if you're watching us live or on cable tonight and you have a young person in your life, I think about my oldest son, Henry, who's 7. He's just starting to kind of like basketball. This is a great opportunity to get them at a camp where they're going to learn so much. Joe, so how did this work? Did you get to help make the decision to have this be able to come to Muscatine? Or how did that work? Because I saw you on social media sharing the flyer, and I thought, this is fantastic. But give us a little bit of the background story on it.
Yeah, so our director of basketball operations, Al Seibert, reached out to me, thought that Muscatine might be a good place for us to have another camp, get kids involved in the areas around here. And so he just asked if there was a place in Muscatine that I thought would be a good fit for it. So obviously I referred to the Y and Brett. And I think it's going to be a great opportunity for these kids locally, even surrounding areas, to come and learn from us current players, as well as some former players that are going to come in as well.
It's not that often that you're able to, as a young person, you like a sport like basketball. It's not that often that you can go to a camp and you're standing next to people like yourself and some of your teammates and, like you said, former Hawkeyes, and learn from them. I mean, this is really, I don't want to say a once-in-a-lifetime experience because we certainly hope this comes back. But, Brett, for you, and I don't know if it's Joe that calls you or the director of basketball operations, but I'm assuming the answer was yes.
Yeah.
What else do you need, right? I mean, what a great opportunity. And it kind of comes full circle with Joe having grown up in Muscatine and spent a lot of time at the Y to now have this fantastic camp, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's perfect for us. They reached out, and it took me less than a second to say, come on down and we'll get this done. So, it's pretty cool that they want to do this in Muscatine because it highlights where Joe, learned all his skills. It lets him come home and do a camp for all the kids that look up to him.
Sure.
And so we're pretty excited. Obviously, we wouldn't have got the opportunity without Joe. We think it's awesome to get all those kids into the Y, all these kids that want to be the next Joe Wieskamp. They want to learn from him. They want to learn Iowa basketball. And then, I look at it as Joe's still paying me back for all the nets he's ruined. So every time he does something nice for me, I at least get a little bit of money back from all the time he spent at the Y.
You say that, and next year's camp could be at the riverfront as long as it's not flooded. So, I mean, I don't know if I would call the guy out on ruining. How do you ruin a net from dunking or from making so many shots?
Making too many shots. If you go and watch him shoot, I mean, it's fun to watch him go in there and shoot. He doesn't miss very often, see? So.
Right.
And he doesn't just make it like the average guy. I mean, he doesn't touch the rim. So the net gets a lot of work out. Luckily, he donated some of his Gatorade money to me, and we replaced a lot of that stuff.
Right. So, Joe, obviously, we're looking for a full camp. I'm assuming there's still time for people to get their kids signed up to participate in this. I want to show the flyer again as many times as we can because it's got all the information on there. You can see right there. Ryan, zoom in a little bit if you could, buddy. So camp ages 7 to 9 will run from 8:30 till noon, and then ages 10 to 12 from 1 to 4:30. How about Coach Fran McCaffrey and his staff will be there? So again, it's the players, but it's also a coach like Coach McCaffrey. in Muscatine, right? So if you're watching this, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about a great camp July 8th through the 11th in Muscatine. Very affordable, by the way, $145. You can't really put a price on what these campers are going to learn during that time. So Joe, for you, I mean, I wonder how, and obviously you've had a lot of great experiences over the last couple of years, but had you ever been like I don't want to say a camp counselor because that's not the right word, but have you ever led a camp before this one?
Not led it,
okay.
But last year, all the players on the team are required to work at the Iowa camps up in Iowa City.
Gotcha.
So we had a lot of guys that would coach different teams or just put kids through different drills. We'd always be there at the beginning and end of it for pictures and autographs and things like that, which will be there in Muscatine as well at the end.
Sure.
To sign any kids, whatever they want us to sign. So I think it's just going to be cool for them to interact with us and learn a little bit too.
Did you, when you were growing up, I mean, obviously basketball has been a part of your life for a while. Did you ever have the experience of this camp? Was it around when you were growing up? Were there other? I mean, I grew up in the Chicago area. I went to like the Ray Meyer basketball camp, who was a coach at DePaul, and other camps. But what were the camp's experiences like for you? Because obviously this is full circle. It all helped you get to where you are today. Now you're giving it back. You're paying it forward, which is fantastic. So talk about some of those experiences that helped you when you were in the same age range as these campers.
Yeah, I didn't have enough opportunities to know camps like this. So players, I was coaching to places. Sure. I remember going to Snow Valley. I think it's a really good opportunity for some of these local kids that don't have as many opportunities to travel different places for these camps. It's just really close right at our local YMCA, which I think will be really cool.
It's incredible to have it at the Y. It's great timing with the Y and all the renovations being done. So it's never been a better opportunity for Muscatine to host a camp like this when our facilities look so great. And Brett, that's where you have to be, again, just so proud of not only Joe, but your facilities to know that you're ready for, because I don't know what the capacity is for a camp of this nature, but I'm assuming there's going to be quite a few basketball players there, and you've got the space for it. So
yeah, we're again, excited to show it off. I mean,
absolutely,
it's a great space. There's going to be some of these kids that have never been there.
Sure.
You know, and selfishly, we hope they show up and get excited about basketball, and they want to join the Y and shoot where Joe shot. And we want to show it off to moms and dads when they come and watch the tail end of camp and get them excited about the YMCA.
And I think what's important to note is, again, you know, Joe, you're a great basketball player, but you also worked tirelessly to get to where you are. I mean, this isn't something that, you know, it's one thing if you're gifted with size, but I mean, all the hours that you spent at the Y, I mean, this isn't an overnight story, and still during your off season, you're probably spending time, you know, working out, conditioning, getting ready for the next season. But that's where I think it's important for kids that if they're interested in basketball, they have to understand that this isn't something that, you know, you just don't become good at in the course of, you know, a day or two. I mean, you have to learn a lot. You have to be competitive, and there's a lot of outlets for that in Muscatine and certainly in eastern Iowa. So Joe, for you, again, I don't know, you probably have logged a couple million hours at the Y, right? I mean, it's been such a great resource for you. Brett's joke that when you come back into town, sometimes he'll just throw you a key, which I'd love to have a key to the Y for the Hy-Vee Adventure Center for my kids. I don't have one yet, but you know, for you, again, all the time that you were able to spend there, right, helped you get to where you are. So it doesn't come without effort, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a great resource for me, obviously, growing up. I mean, the hours, you can go there pretty much any time of the day. So I remember a lot of times before I'd have a high school game, I'd go over there right after school and shoot, just to kind of get me ready for that. And just a lot of hours there, like you said. Obviously, I don't spend as much time there now. Sure. As I'm up in Iowa City working out there, but growing up, that was definitely always the spot that I went to shoot.
So if you're watching us again, I wouldn't wait to get a spot reserved for the camper, for the young person in your family, ages 7 to 9 and then 10 to 12. They'll go quickly. If there is a ceiling or a capacity, don't miss out on it. It's July 8th through the 11th. I was on, again, social media. I didn't know that there were Golden Herky Awards that were handed out. You took home at least 2 of those from what I saw. Best play with your ridiculous buzzer beater at Rutgers. We played it on this show. It doesn't make sense, the angle that you... I mean, I shoot around this much, and one of the times I was at the Y, I was thinking, I don't even know how you hit that part of the backboard. There's the Golden Herky. Something like that, a play like that. I imagine it happens so fast. You take the shot and you hope for the best, but when it goes in and then you see the replay, will you ever be able to duplicate that angle? I mean, off the backboard, it just doesn't make sense when you watch it. Like, I've watched it so many times. I know exactly where you hit it on the backboard, and it was like the perfect spot.
Yeah, that play was unreal. I remember that whole week. I didn't practice because I was battling some back issues.
Sure.
So I was just thankful to play in that game, let alone hit that shot to end it. So it was kind of all a little bit of a blur. It happened so fast. Just kind of turned around, threw it up there quickly. But just thankful that it went in.
It was unbelievable. And then the other golden herky for newcomer of the year, which is nice, right? That's nice. Did they hand out? Do you have a golden herky? Is that something that they gave you?
3 point.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. I don't know where you put stuff like that, but all right, we'll watch this shot. And again, Joe's seen this probably enough times. But look at that off the back. Brett said, Joe, you weren't here, but Brett said he's made that shot at noon ball all the time. He says he hits that at least once a week. Brett, when you saw that shot, you've played basketball at a high level yourself. It's just ridiculous. I mean,
yeah, it was unbelievable. The funny thing, we were watching it at home, and when he shot it, I didn't realize live it was Joe, because it happened in such a flash, and it got tipped over until you saw his teammates mobbing him, and then we really went crazy because we're like, oh, that was Joe! Holy smokes! Yeah, that was an incredible play. It was really fun to watch.
Joe, I would be remiss with you here to not mention you. I don't know if it's the right way to say you towed the water of the NBA draft. Certainly, that NBA level is I mean, that is the highest level for basketball, right? And when it got out that you were towing the water, people in Muscatine, I don't know if they were crying or what was happening, but there's always this misinformation game that's tough to get to get a handle on. Excuse me. So when you decided to do that process, I thought it was communicate. I understood what you were doing, right? You just kind of wanted to explore that process. We hope that you had learned a lot from that, and then we were so excited when you announced that you were going to come back for your sophomore season. I don't know if you can talk about what you learned with that NBA draft process at all, or if you want to comment on that. But I mean, it certainly seems like that would be a goal for you. Eventually, would be to get to that level of entering the NBA draft.
Yeah, obviously that's been my goal ever since I've been a little kid, to play in the NBA. So when I found out about the opportunity just to kind of test the waters, get a chance to work out for a couple teams, just kind of see what it's like to live the life of an NBA player. I decided to do it this year with the intent of coming back to Iowa and for my sophomore season, and so I'm just excited to get back to work this year.
This is going to be another great season for Hawkeye basketball, and I've personally, I think about my connection to the state of Iowa. I've lived here 17 years now, and it seems like now there have been good basketball teams, but certainly Iowa football, I don't want to say has been in the spotlight over the course of those years, but it's nice to have this talented group, and we're looking at some great highlights. What is the off season like for you? Are you able to practice with your teammates, or is there a certain period at which you can then get back together with everybody in Iowa City? I don't know. I didn't play at the Division I level, so I don't know what the parameters are like. But what is the sense that you've had during this off season, and how ready are you to get back to playing Hawkeye basketball?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, a lot of changes. We're going to have a new coach. We lost a few players, but we also have a lot of good players coming in. So it's going to be exciting just to play with these different guys. Sure. The off season, we're heading back up to campus in a couple weeks. June 9th is when I go back, and then we start workouts the 10th. We'll be taking classes. So I'm just excited to get back on campus and get back to work with these guys.
That's next weekend. That's when that is. Like, you said that, and I'm like, June 9th. That's next Saturday and Sunday. You're back and ready to work, and then of course we'll be back in Muscatine for the camp. I think this is just such a great experience to have for Muscatine, to be able to have followed your story and to have you be such a good role model. And we talk a lot about good role models with the Y and the programs and the groups and the support that are offered for our kids, Brett. I mean, every day your team is working to have outlets for kids to just, especially when we get to the summer next week, after the polar vortex extended the school year, you're going to be so busy. My son Henry is going to be one of the Y campers, and we're personally really excited about it. But it's just nice to have Joe and countless other examples recently with these Muskie grads that have gone on to that next level, that are more than willing to come back, Brett, and give back to their community.
It's exciting, and I think what people don't realize is that, you know, Joe is a phenomenal basketball player, right? We all watch him on TV. And he didn't get there, you know, just by putting in a few hours. He put in a lot of time and effort, and it's the way he approaches everything in life. So, you know, as a kid, if you want to come to this camp, it's a great opportunity to learn from him, and maybe you're not going to be the next Joe Wieskamp and go to Iowa, but the skill sets and the work that he puts into basketball are the same things you put into life. And I tell people all the time, he's a better kid than he is a basketball player. And so whatever he does in life, whether he plays in the NBA or 30 years from now when he's doing something else, he'll be a success because he's so dedicated and driven. And then the other thing you asked about the NBA, which he's too humble, you know, you don't automatically get tryouts with teams.
Right.
You know, he got called by teams and got sent out and worked out for teams, which not every guy that puts their name in the draft got to do.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Yeah.
You know, so I know he worked out in Boston. I know Danny Ainge was standing there giving him pointers. Well, how many kids can say that?
That's a crazy sentence to say out loud.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, he's not going to tell you that because he's a humble kid, but I'll brag for him because that's pretty impressive, right?
That's
how many of us
incredible.
would love to have gotten an opportunity to do something like that? We never would.
I'm just, I was telling Brett before we started the show that I went to a lot of great basketball camps growing up, and one of the instructors was Corey Maggette, who played at Fenwick High School and played at Duke, and then was in the NBA, and I had great experiences there, and I got to watch Kevin Garnett play high school basketball, and he was just a phenom on the court. So I've always loved the game of basketball, and certainly growing up in the Chicago area with the Bulls and Hurt, you know, the 6 NBA championships and that experience. So for me, it's just something that I enjoy. And I got to coach a little bit with like some of the youth growing up, and I don't know if I'm a good coach or not. I don't know if I could coach my kids, but that's what I think is going to be so interesting about this camp. And Ryan, let's put the flyer on the screen one more time with the Hawkeye basketball camp, July 8th through the 11th. Is that experience from, again, what we're talking about, Coach Fran McCaffrey and his staff being there, Joe and some current and former players. Do you know any former players that are going to drop by? Are you able to say?
I'm not sure exactly.
Okay.
They didn't mention any names. Probably just anyone that's around is willing to come down.
Maybe Bobby Hansen will stop down.
I'm not sure exactly.
I love Bobby. Bobby stopped by the store a couple weeks ago, and he's such a great guy. One of the things I wanted to ask you, Joe, as we wrap up is just the experience of this season. I mean, you played basketball, and we talk about your journey from playing at the Y and playing at MHS and then Iowa City, which is great. But you played in places like Madison Square Garden this season. And I mean, you know, like I said, growing up watching the Bulls play the Knicks in Madison Square Garden and just watching those games on TV, what was it like going to these different places? I mean, at the end of the day, you're focusing on a game, but did you ever have a moment where you just kind of took it all in and said like, oh my gosh, I'm in Madison Square Garden? Or can you not have that moment because you have to be so focused with what's going on? I
mean, you can take a minute to kind of appreciate where you're at and how all the hard work is paying off. You're playing in all these cool different places. We played in the United Center for the Big Ten tournament too, so it's just a really cool opportunity to play in all these different places. You know, travel all these different places with your teammates, and just seeing it pay off is a lot of fun.
And what about like how life has changed for you? I mean, you certainly had a lot of recognition in high school, and people will recognize you when you're out and about. Now you get to this level where you come into a place like Hy-Vee. I was surprised you were able to walk from the entrance back to the set and nobody stopped you. But I mean, that's part of your life now. And I think that for a lot of people, that's not something that they deal with, is that people leaning over and saying something and doing the point or the gesture because they recognize you. So I mean, that's something that I know that you've had a little bit of an experience with, but you have to take that in stride, obviously. And you probably, you know, don't mind the fact that people come up and say, because they say nice things, right?
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
nice. They say, that's the thing. Like for the most part, I don't know, 90% of the time, 95% of the time, they're always saying nice things to you, right?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes people come up to me and be like, don't you ever get sick of people just coming up to you all the time? You know, people staring at, like, I see people staring at you, they tell me that. And I just tell them, you know what, you know, they mean all nice things, and it just shows that you're doing the right things if they're going to reach out to you and show interest in you. So I just continue to do what I do.
It's just a unique level of recognition, and it will only increase as you progress in your career, and especially, I mean, if you talk about getting to that next level with the NBA. But you are, I mean, you talk about, you know, Brett hit the nail on the head. You talk about somebody that is prepared, and it comes back to having a great great family. Shout out to the Wieskamp family. Big Wieskamp family wedding this weekend, by the way. Brett and I are going to crash it. You're probably invited. Are you invited?
I'm on the invite list.
Am I your +1? Is that what you're going to tell me?
No, I think my wife's a little better looking than you, so
Okay.
I'm going to go with Stacy.
I'm not going to argue with you there, but big Wieskamp family wedding this weekend. You get to be the best man for your brother. It's so exciting, right? I mean, time goes by too quickly, right?
Yeah, it's very exciting. After my graduation party last year, my brother wrote me a note asking if I wanted to be his best man. So I've been looking forward to this weekend for quite a while, and I'm just excited for them.
This is what I'm saying. Like, my intent is to not try and humanize Joe Wieskamp, but just maybe remind y'all that, like, Joe is a member of the Wieskamp family, a student and an athlete and a person, right? Sometimes you watch somebody on ESPN and you forget that they're a tangible person that's going through things just like we all are, with siblings getting married and making it to class on time. Iowa's campus is huge. I was at the IMU Saturday DJing wedding. I don't know how you get to class on time. You have to take a bus or what?
Yeah, freshman year is pretty much either just
Louise.
walking or taking a bus, but luckily next year I'll have my car up there, so I'll be able to drive to class and whatnot.
I mean, is it a thing that no freshman can have cars, or?
It's just a matter of the dorm parking. There's nowhere to park, so you have to
I'm not trying to say that they can make
away.
exceptions for people that are good basketball players. And I would never say that on my own show. Kids or grandkids, nieces or nephews, Ryan Broderson's going to try and put on a disguise to pass like he's 10 or 11 or 12. If he shaved, look at this guy. If he shaved, you could be 12. You could be 12, Ryan. We'll get you in the camp. Joe, great to see you, man. Good luck.
Thanks for having me.
Can't wait for this camp. It's going to be great.
Buddy.
Brett, pleasure. Great to see you. Here we go, July 8th through the 11th. Can we put the flyer on the screen one more time? Is that doable, guys? I just want to make sure everybody at home doesn't miss the opportunity to get their youngster signed up for this. It is going to be a great time at the Muscatine Community YMCA. The 8th to the 11th of July, Hawkeye Basketball Camp. Come into town. This is a big deal. Very affordable, $109 per home. It's great. All right, so let's get that quick picture before these guys go. What do you think? You want to take one? We got the aisle cam. Hey, look at that convenient aisle cam. There's a Hawkeye chair. Brett, have a seat for a second. We're going to take a quick pic, and then we'll get David Costa situated. Look at a little Hawkeye pop-up chair there, and some basketballs. That would be in aisle 11. All right, we ready? Thank you, Ryan. Hopefully I don't have Starbucks coffee on my face or nose or anything. Thank you, guys. It's great to see you. All right, we are going to get our next guest, David Casas, situated, another great Muskie native who just continues to do good things. In addition to be the world's best disc golfer, apparently, David Casas, who humble enough to probably not want to mention that. He's got a big show we're going to promote this Friday. And listen, hey, you need things like basketballs and Hawkeye pop-up chairs? We've got you in aisle 11. Cody, let's go out. Let's take the cart cam for a spin after we talk to David. I want to get right down to business here. So David Casas is back, ladies and gentlemen, on the show. Super excited to have you here. How are you, buddy? I like the shirt, by the way. It's a nice color.
I almost wore blue, too. We would have been
Twinsies.
Yes.
It's great to see you. I mentioned the disc golf. Maybe I knew you did the disc golf, but you're really good. You went to Des Moines and won a tournament. Is that what happened this weekend?
Yep. Yeah. We played, it was my first tournament back in 2013.
Yeah.
And luckily it was sunny all weekend because I was a little scared. I took all my rain gear. But I battled against a bunch of really good competition, and I was fortunate enough to win. So disc golf is my other love, my other passion.
I've disc golfed a couple of times in my life, and we've got some great disc golf courses here in Muscatine.
Yes, yep.
Near Discovery Park and Fuller Park, which is going to be literally in my future backyard. So that's really exciting. But you're here to talk about this Friday, May 31st. You have a show at the Renwick Mansion in Davenport, which is haunted. It's a cool place.
That's what I hear, I guess.
It's not that it has anything to do with your show, but it's just a really cool place in Davenport at the Renwick Mansion. You're doing a show with TJ, is it Regal?
TJ Regal, yeah.
TJ Regal.
Yep.
Okay, so this is kind of like a joint show that's going to be happening. Are tickets still available, David Casas?
Yes. Actually, so I spoke to TJ last night, and the tickets are selling very well. So it's only a 60-seat, only holds about 60 seats.
Yeah.
So it'll be a really nice, intimate show. Of course, be magic, comedy, a lot of audience interaction. So it's going to be, you get 2 magicians for the price of 1. So
I was going to say, it's rare that this happens, right?
So
I mean, to have
cool.
2 people that are as talented as both of you are. We're looking at the Magic of David Casas website with this fantastic promo video, by the way, which is just fantastic. So, okay, a show like this is different from what you're used to because you're splitting the time. So how does that work? Will you take turns with who's going to do, I mean, is it 30 or 40 minutes? Will you do anything together?
Yeah, so basically TJ is going to open the show with something, then he'll introduce me, then I'm actually going to do my bird act, so I'm looking forward to that. And then TJ will come back on and he'll do about 40-45 minutes.
Awesome.
Then he'll introduce me and then I'll come back and do another 40-45 minutes.
Gosh, that's fantastic.
And then after the show, we're encouraging folks to stick around and have some drinks, and then we're going to be walking around doing some close-up magic while they just kind of hang out and buy some drinks and mingle with their friends and maybe meet some new friends.
I was going to say, it's like the best Friday ever. I mean, that's a full slate.
A lot of magic, yeah.
Ryan, I emailed you the flyer, I think, for David's show, and it's at Renwick Mansion, which is in Davenport.
Yep.
Tremont Street?
Tremont Street,
yeah,
yep.
Tremont Street.
Yep.
I kind of remember where things are at in the Quad Cities. I've only been in Muscatine 7 years. There it is right there. Magic at the Mansion. This is so fantastic, right?
Yeah, it'll be the first time they've ever had a magic show there, so it's pretty awesome.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So they've done all of these great comedy shows recently. Our mutual friend Chris Schlichting has done a lot of shows there. But I didn't know they had not done magic there.
Yeah, that'll be the first time. Yeah, we had TJ and I've been kind of talking for a while, trying to find a place where we could maybe do a show together, and you know, it's an amazing venue. They do a lot of weddings there as well. So we thought, what better way to do a show than it's nice, intimate. That's what I kind of like about it. 60 seats, so
that's great.
It'll be a fun show.
When you're looking for David Casas, of course, his website, we showed you that, social media, active on there. You have been, buddy, all over the place since the last time you were here. I mean, your 2019 calendar, it's taken you, I mean, you were doing corporate shows, I don't know, where is it, like Chicago?
I was in Naperville a couple weeks ago.
Right,
I'm going to Minneapolis, Minnesota this weekend.
Wow.
And then I'm actually be at the Muscatine Library here in a couple weeks.
I didn't know that.
Doing 2 shows with Betty Collins there at the Musser Library. I think it's June 11th, I think.
Oh my gosh,
date,
that's fantastic. That would be a Tuesday?
A Tuesday at 10:30 and 1:30, so...
a morning magic show.
Yeah, so...
I'm making a note. I'm going to have to tell my wife to take the kids.
The kids, the kids really love it when I come to Muscatine, and it's again being my hometown. I always love to come back and perform here.
Right. Wow, that's absolutely. I love the variety of things that you're able to do. Right. We're talking to David Casas, Magic David Casas, joint show this Friday. TJ Regal, Magic at the Mansion, Renwick Mansion in Davenport. That's this Friday. Then you go to Minneapolis.
Yep.
And then you find yourself back in Muscatine and stops in between. You do some kind of residency magic at a couple different places. Is that still happening?
Yeah. I do magic at Applebee's Wednesday nights in Davenport on Elmore Avenue, and then I do Sunday nights in Granite City now as well. But yeah, my summer schedule is pretty busy, so sometimes I can't make the restaurants if I have like a corporate gig, but I try not to schedule stuff when I know I'm supposed to be there, but sometimes I can't help it.
No, it makes total sense. I mean, you're in demand, and it's nice to see again somebody, you know, from Muscatine that was passionate about, you know, what you do, which is magic and entertaining at the same time. That's just it. Like, it's one thing to be able to get on stage and do magic and execute tricks and illusions and to wow people, but what you have really perfected is a good stage presence and being able to work the crowd, because again, that's where you have, I mean, you have a great personality, and that, I mean, that's part of it,
and that's
isn't
just
it?
as important. A lot of, some guys, you either have it or you don't. So it's, I mean, you have to obviously know how to do the magic, but then you have to be able to entertain people, as you know, being an entertainer yourself.
Right. Well, it's tough. I mean, it's, you know, when you find yourself, regardless of the setting, when you're the guy or the person that's on a stage or whatever at a podium, and you're looking into a crowd, and all of a sudden there's that moment of like, okay, I have to do what I do. You kind of snap to it, right? I mean, you've been doing it for a while, so you kind of have a good sense for what's going to happen. But yeah, it's just so fascinating to see you go to all these different places. And I imagine, David, when you get to these corporate shows, they must really enjoy it, because it's probably not something that they're used to at a corporate event, is having somebody like yourself come in and do a true show. Right.
Well, a lot of people, they see magic on TV, but then when they see me, they're like, oh, it's so much better live. It's just like with a lot of, concerts as well, other live entertainment. It's obviously much more enjoyable and to see it in person, it's definitely better seeing
It's
it
the
live.
best way to experience magic.
Yes.
Stephanie Lerma on Facebook asks if Friday's show is adult aged or if children are welcome.
Well, that's a good question. We've actually been getting that a lot.
Sure.
So basically, we're gearing it towards 21 and older, only because they're going to be serving alcohol.
Gotcha.
Not because it's like an R-rated show. I mean, TJ and I are both family entertainers.
Sure.
But we are gearing it. So we actually had a lady last week email us, and we basically said, if you feel, we're not going to say no, but if you feel comfortable with your child coming, then that's fine. Like I said, we're just gearing it more towards adults because of the alcohol being served.
Makes
and because
sense.
it'll be a late night after the show, like I said, then we encourage folks to stick around and buy some drinks while we do some close-up magic. So although we are gearing it towards adults, we're not going to turn. If you come to the show and be like you have a kid, we're not going to be like, oh, you can't come in. We wouldn't do that. So
yeah.
So
I appreciate that you said that you, TJ, and yourself are family performers.
So it's going to be a family show,
Yeah.
but we just gearing it towards adults because of the alcohol being served.
And you work clean.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And that's right. I mean, there's a lot of people that do comedy or magic or both that work clean. I think
Yes.
about Dave Coulier from Full House.
Yeah.
I kind of know him a little bit, not to brag, but he works clean. That's his thing. That's his shtick. He's a clean comic.
Right.
And that can put you in a lot of great
And
places.
I think you get, in my opinion, is you get a lot more work if you are a clean entertainer.
Absolutely.
In my whole career, I've always, like you said, I can do corporate shows, I can do after proms, I can do library shows, so I can work with kids and adults, or both family shows. So
Well, it just makes sense. I mean, right? You want
just
your
makes it
show
more versatile
to
and-
be in all ages, right?
Right,
I mean,
right,
that's what I
yes.
appreciate about
Yep.
you. And when you go to see a David Casas show, great picture right there on the screen, right? When you go to see a David Casas show, the reactions from the crowd, from people that are 85 to 5,
Yep.
they get wowed.
They can all enjoy it.
And I know that you feed off of that, right? I
Yep.
mean, that's what keeps someone like yourself wanting to keep learning different things and being able to incorporate them into the show because you get those reactions, right?
Right.
That's a good feeling to receive
Yep.
on your side of things.
That photo you just showed, that was actually,
Yeah.
I believe, from Bettendorf
Okay.
last year.
Awesome.
And I always get a lot of comments. The adults will come up to me and they'll say that their teenage daughter or son really enjoyed the show. They thought it was just going to be like a little like kid show, but that's what's cool about my show is my magic's geared towards all ages. So some
Yep.
might be towards the kids, some might be towards the adults, because I want everybody to have a good time and enjoy
Well,
themselves.
the fact that you take the time to appreciate that and to understand each setting that you find yourself in speaks volumes. There was, I can't say a rumor because Thad Burkhamper sat right here a couple weeks ago, and he told us
A rumor?
that the rumor is that there may be a TB Mentalism David Casas joint venture in the Muscatine area October-ish. Any update to that? Do you want to comment on it? Do you want
Sure, I'll comment on
Thad's
it.
people to call your people? What do we need to do here?
Yeah, so that is true.
Okay.
We haven't really spoke too much about it recently, although I'm sure in the next coming months we'll get more details
Okay.
hashed out. But yeah, he had sent me a video. I watched him when he was on here too, actually. So,
Sure.
but yeah, so he had sent me a video of a performance he did at the high school and kind of said, hey, you're a pro. Can I get some constructive criticism or maybe
Awesome.
some tips? And I thought it was kind of cool for us to maybe do a show together because he does the more mentalism, I do the more sleight of hand illusion.
Yep.
So I thought we're both from Muscatine. People always say, oh, you need to come to Muscatine, we'll often do more shows. And so I thought, what a cool way and I've known Thad for a while. So I thought, what a cool way, let's do a show together in
Absolutely.
Muscatine. And I think we could, it'd be a fun show. Like I said, because we do different sort of things, everybody would get something out of it. So, but
It makes total
the
sense.
rumor is true.
Yes.
The rumor is true.
Thad, call him. What are you doing?
Thad, have your people call my people.
Right. Have your person call his people. I'm sure he's got a person. We've all got a person.
We all got
his
people.
might be Jeremy Spratt, his podcast partner. Okay, so you've been on the show before. I've talked to you about the fact that you are still constantly learning and seeking different things that you may be able to incorporate in the show.
Yep.
Since the last time you've been here, it's been a couple months. Has there been anything that you've been working on or that is close to maybe becoming part of a David Casas show? I love asking you this because,
Yes.
again, I know that you're not the kind of person, David, you refuse to settle. You always want to keep evolving as a
Yes.
performer, and I admire that.
Yeah. So I have a lot of things that I'm working on. I I haven't quite mastered them yet.
Okay.
But yeah, I am working on a few different things for my restaurant work and a couple things for my stage show. So as you mentioned, yeah, always working, trying to learn new things. So I do have some stuff that I'm working on, but it's not quite ready to be seen yet.
No,
but
that's great.
Hopefully soon.
Sorry to interrupt. That guy's face is both of them, that couple. That's what it's all about.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that is the close-up magic. Again, these are experiences that maybe you don't get to have that often. You got to go see David when he's at Applebee's or Granite City in Davenport. Well, just look at that reaction. I've had that reaction. I love it. I am.
That's what makes it worthwhile. All
Yep.
the hours and hours of practice, and when you get the audience reactions like that, that makes it all worth it. And
it's absolutely fantastic to see that. What a great moment captured in time. All right, so again, David Costas, the magic of David Costas in the house, Muscatine guy following another Muscatine guy.
Yes.
What a great show, right? This is Friday, Renwick Mansion in Davenport. Tickets are $12. Going quickly because the capacity of the room is 60 people. Don't miss your chance to see them. Great price point between two different performers with TJ Regal and David Costas. That's going to be awesome. I don't want to ask you if you have anything that you want to do here.
I might have brought us a little something.
Okay, and this is why. Oh, there's a whole thing. Okay, now Cody's coming over here like he knew about something that was going to happen. I got punked on my show a couple weeks ago. They brought Zumba people behind me.
Oh, yeah?
So when I have someone like yourself or Thad, I always feel like I didn't say come on the show and do something. We shoot the breeze, it's fine. But I don't want to not ask if you have anything.
Well, I had a question for you. Is it true that you are purchase a new home, or you will be? Did I hear that?
We are closing, I don't want to tell you now, next Friday.
Okay, so you bought a new house?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I heard through the grapevine, so I thought I'd do a little something different for you today. So
are you going to pay off my mortgage?
No.
Yes! David Casas pays off Tony Tone's mortgage. Here we go.
So I brought something a little different for you today.
Did you guys know that he was going to do this? Okay, good. This is great.
Are you ready?
I'm ready, yes.
Get excited.
Is it
Here we go.
52 card pickup?
No.
Okay, good. Yes.
But I'm just going to riffle the cards like so, and you're just going to say stop.
Okay.
Here we go.
Stop.
Whenever you take the card, you stop it. Do not let me see. You can show it to the camera if
I
you
can show it to the camera. Here we go. Let's show it to the camera.
And then just hide it.
Okay.
Perfect.
I've hit it. Yes.
Perfect. Go ahead and just place it back in there for me.
Anywhere?
Face down, yes.
Face down.
Yep, stick it in the deck for me.
How about like right there, David Casas in the house?
Perfect. All right. So, Tone, when I snapped the fingers, the magic already happened. Did you see that?
No, it
Your
didn't.
card just jumped to the top of the deck. Was that your card?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay.
It gets better. Hold your applause. I'm going to hand you the marker there.
Okay.
I need your autograph, please.
Thank you, David.
Yes.
I'm so proud.
Yes.
All right. There we go.
Perfect.
I don't
Autograph.
understand how the card jumps to the top. Anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, here we go. So let's try this again. I'm going to do it a little slower this time for you. I'm going to put it down towards the bottom.
Okay.
And then I snap the fingers, and again, did you see it jump to the top? Just like that, one more time. But here's where it gets a little good, and you might want to zoom in on this.
Okay.
You can see it has your name on there, Tone.
Clear as day, David.
Right?
Absolutely. There it is.
And like I said, I did hear that you had purchased a new home recently.
If my address is on the back, I'm going to freak out.
Well, that would be good. But there is a little message for you on the back of that card, if you could just turn that over for us.
It's just a regular card, David. What do you mean there's a message on the back of the card? Oh, my gosh. How is that? What do you mean?
Congrats on your new home.
But it was you didn't.
And that is for you to keep and take home.
I don't understand. I don't want to know, because that is awesome. So this was a regular card that I signed. It jumped, and now you. There's nobody standing behind you, right? And Burkhamper's not here, so that is what I'm talking about.
There you go.
35 years old. I will be forever a fan of what you do, because it's moments like that I can totally appreciate. And the reaction on Ryan and Cody's face and Chad's face is well worth it, because that's just great. Please, if you're watching, go see this man this Friday. with TJ Regal at the Renwick Mansion in Davenport. Tickets are $12. It'll be a fantastic evening. Stick around for some of this.
Yes.
This is that one example of many of the different things you're able to do in the close-up magic, tableside, however you want to call it. I mean, that...
And like I said, with all the magic shows, the
awesome.
Penn and Teller Fool Us and the Shin Lim won America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
And he won the Champions of Magic. So Magic's pretty, and the Masters of Illusion.
Yeah.
So Magic's pretty happening right now. So.
Well, and it's got to make you feel good, right? You know, David, and I've told you the story of when David Copperfield did a show in Davenport when I was in college, and then we met him at the bar, and he did one of those things where he took a dollar, had a girl sign it, and did this, and it was in her back pocket, and I freaked out. I just couldn't stop yelling. My friends and I were just like, oh! So it's nice to have, to see magic kind of, you know, come back in such a strong way.
Yep.
Not that it was ever down, but certainly, I mean, you think about people like Copperfield and several others back in the day. I mean, they would do, you know, huge shows. So for someone like you, when you have people that are doing things on that national level, and you've been at that level yourself, it just helps everybody else.
Right.
It creates interest that can be have that trickle down effect.
Right. Well, for a while, I mean, it was kind of going down, not many people, but then when David Blaine came out this TV special and Chris Angel, but then after that it was starting to kind of die down a little again, but then with America's Got Talent, all the magicians on there, and then to have Matt Franco was the first magician to ever win that show, and he's got a Vegas deal, and then now Shin Lim winning it, like I said, last season, and every time there's magic, and then there's a lot of Netflix magic specials. So anytime there's a magic show on TV, I like it because then people will call me and say, "Oh, we want a magician for our event."
Yes, and you're the guy.
Like, hey, I'm the guy. Give me a call. So.
And that's what's so nice for you in this area. And again, David's performed everywhere: Vegas, Chicago. I mean, all over the place. Minneapolis this weekend. So many fun videos. Oh, it reminds me of the Hy-Vee holiday party with Jim Simmons.
Yes, and that was awesome, by the way. The Hy-Vee holiday party.
That was a lot of fun.
Good
so
crowd,
if you like what you've seen and what you're watching with David's promo video, which is just fantastic, there's a straight jacket, which that's also me trying to get dressed with the lights off. So that's what I deal with a lot. You can reach out to David Casas on social media. He's got a fantastic website. Would love to perform if you need him for any type of function. You know, I think about all the corporations in town, and it's just great to know that this guy, you can see this man right here, this Friday, May 31st, Renwick Mansion in Davenport. Then coming back to Muscatine, June 11th, Munster Public Library.
Two library shows, 10:30
a.m., 1 p.m. Love it. We love Betty. We love the library.
Every time I go, that's always standing room only, typically. So hopefully we'll get another good turnout. So.
You will, my friend. You will. You're a great friend personally and of the show, and I appreciate your support. And I hope that the Renwick Mansion show is sold out. Feels like it's going to happen. Please don't wait to get your tickets. It's going to be a lot of fun. And thank you for
having me. I appreciate it.
Did this? He starts talking about the house, and I'm like, if my new address is written on the back of there, I'm going to fire Ryan Broderson for real, because how would he know? But that is absolutely great. It's fantastic to see you. Thank you for making the drive
thanks for having
down.
me. I appreciate it anytime.
Muscatine's own David Casas, doing it big, performing all the time, and we can't wait to get more details about the show in October.
Yes.
I hope that we break any news here.
Yes.
That'd be great to have. I don't know if it would be good to have you and Thad on at the same time, because I don't know what would happen. Maybe you can make Ryan Broderson disappear.
That would be cool.
I don't know. This card can go right into Ryan's back pocket or something. All right, let's go to the aisle cam if we could. And I'm going to have Ryan take a picture. Ryan's got this great camera. And I thought, David and I could use a nice picture together. We both got nice shirts on and everything. So we'll go to the CBI Bank and Trust aisle cam. The magic of David Casas. Please go see his show this Friday. And then bring the kids June 11th to the Munster Public Library, 10:30 a.m. and 1 p.m. That'll be just fantastic. The aisle cam in aisle 11. All right, Ryan, we're ready for a close-up. I'm going to hold my card up right here. Awesome. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate seeing you. Thank you so much. All right, so this is great. Robert on Facebook saying David is awesome. He did a trick for me at a shoe store. Crazy, crazy, awesome. Thank you, Robert. Yes, we appreciate that. Shout out to Zach Lane and everybody that's been watching on Facebook today. You're just fantastic. All right, so with that being said, what a fun show. We're going to go quickly to the Toyota of Muscatine cart cam, and then, Ryan, I think for the sake of time, we go right into the job board, and then we'll get out of here because we've just been packed to the gills. I love it. I love having busy shows. So Cody has the Wheels of Steel if you'll have it, the 2019 Toyota Muscatine Kart Cam that runs on Cody Power. It gets 700 miles to the gallon because Cody's pushing a grocery cart with a camera mounted on it. That's how it operates. It's Cody powered, see? Today is Wednesday, not Thursday, Tony. It's Wednesday the 29th. It's National Paperclip Day, and it's Senior Health and Fitness Day. And it's fitting that we're talking about health and fitness because Wellness Wednesday at the Hy-Vee, you get 10% off in places like the Health Market. Cody, you want to grab me a meltdown, don't you? Hang a left, pal. I know you do. We love talking about the keto meltdown drink with all the ketones. I think Cody's had one. I know Chad's had it. Ryan needs to get on the hashtag keto train. With all the ketones coursing through his veins. We got the GoldenEye scope looking up at the rack of keto stuff, and there are those meltdown drinks, some protein powders as well. And it's all in the Health Market, right? Great selection. We talk about Wellness Wednesday. You save 10% on Health Market purchases. You save 10% on organic produce and on things like health and beauty care items. Thank you, Cody. I think that's a great blade, too. That's a good flavor. And I say this because I need to buy a new toothbrush. And I'm going to buy my toothbrush today because guess what? It's going to be 10% off. And I don't want to pay full price for my toothbrush. So let's stick with Cody for a second. Cody, go left like you were going to come back to the set. And then I'll have you hang a left. And then I believe it'll be... not this left, but the left after this. It should be the aisle where the toothbrushes are. So if you go left right past that toilet paper, boom, right on your right, you can see it. Remember when there were like 2 different kinds of toothpaste back in the day? Now you got 700. Look at all that toothpaste. I got the charcoal toothpaste. I like it. I think it works. It's kind of weird, but I tell you what, Cody, if you find a toothbrush that you think would be appropriate for me, grab it, and then I'll buy it, because I do need a new one. I'm realizing as I get older that, I've kind of had like a cold, and I thought about it this morning. I'm like, I should probably get a new toothbrush because my germs are on my toothbrush. Am I just giving myself my cold over and over again? Maybe. Do I trust Cody to pick out a toothbrush for me is the game that we're going to play. Look at this. He's going, what is it, a Toy Story toothbrush? Is that what he's grabbing? It is... perfect. It's a powered tooth. I can't wait to see that. Bring that back, sir. And I'll save 10% on it, right? I've never had a powered toothbrush, by the way, so maybe this will be the first one that I pick up. All right, very good. Thank you, Cody. Toyota Muscatine Kart Cam. One of my favorite shows that we've done. It's great to have people like Joe Wieskamp continue to be a role model for Muscatine youngsters and all over the state, of course, young people that like playing basketball. You look at a guy like Joe Wieskamp who got to where he is with hard work and determination and resources like the Muscatine Community Y. Now he is playing Division I basketball. Did you hear what Brett Olson said? That Joe got invited to go work out with the Boston Celtics, and Danny Ainge, who kind of runs the Celtics, was a former player himself. I mean, that's unbelievable. And Joe to come on the show, a very busy week for him, amongst other things, like I mentioned, his brother Matt and Emily Clemens getting married this weekend. We wish them well and say congratulations. And don't forget the Iowa Hawkeye Basketball Camp, July 8th through the 11th at the Y. It was great to see Joe, and he carries himself so well and couldn't be a better role model for this town. And we wish him nothing but the best during his sophomore season. Here's the toothbrush that Cody got me. It is a Bumblebee. Wow. You got to zoom in on that, Cody. This is great. Oh, my gosh. Look at how awesome that is. I need this in my life. What happens if I bring this home? My kids start fighting because I didn't bring 2 of them because they think everything that I bring home is theirs. Ryan Broderson, I want to do the job board, and then I would like if you went to my Facebook page and pull up that picture of that arcade. Yeah, okay, perfect. Ryan and I sometimes, we have the ESPN where we are on the same thought train or plane. ESPN, same thing. All right, team staffing, 109 Lake Park Boulevard, across from Happy Joe's, soon to be Cranky Tony's when I win the Powerball. But for now, it's Happy Joe's. They have the job board on this show. Here are some opportunities. Mary has the help desk job available, or jobs. Call her and find out, 563-316-7634, or careers@teamssi.com. What else is on the job board? Our friend Brooke McCullough has some opportunities with West Liberty Foods, one of the newest clients with team staffing, and you can get started. Call Brooke, 563-316-7636. I drove through West Liberty on Saturday night coming back from Iowa City. Took, Highway 6 or Route 6 through West Liberty. I thought about our friend Police Chief Kerry Kinmuth and everybody in West Liberty, and I saw West Liberty food, so that was great. And last but not least on the job board, Ryan, is our friend Katie, has general labor opportunities. Second shift, you can call Katie. It's right there on the screen, 563-316-7639, or careers@teamssi.com. How fun is David Casas, by the way? He reached out. Let me just give you a little bit of background. And let me just get the steam off my glasses. I'm so impressed with that magic trick. My brain is steamy, y'all. So David sent me an email, and he wanted to come on and talk about the show this Friday at the Renwick Mansion, $12. And I said, yes. Never in that exchange of emails did I say, bring something, because we're friends. He can come on and talk. Then he busts out the cards and does this thing where I sign the card, and then I put it back in the deck, and then he goes, turn it over. There's a message on it because you're buying a new house, and it says that. How does that happen? I'm watching him. He's right here. You saw it. Rewatch it. Watch it again online or on cable. See if you can catch how he did it, because I can't, and I don't want to know. That's above my pay grade. That's awesome, though. One of the best shows we've had by far. We've had the governor of Iowa on the show. We've had Tim DeWitt. We've had some fun people on the show. This might be one of the best ones we've had. Wow, just great. All right, last but not least, shameless plug, coming soon to that new house with the congrats card. This will be on the bar down there. Coming soon to the new house as well. How about this arcade game from Land of Oz? This is exciting. So we talked to Mike Rankins a couple of weeks ago, and the Land of Oz retail store is open, and they're located at 801 South Oregon Street, across from Muster Park. Western Mall, I think is what it would be called. It's right kind of where our friend Sammy Motley is with Motley May Photography, who's doing a great job with the mental health awareness photo shoots. But this is something that's going to be in your boy's basement pretty soon. It is an arcade game. Look at that. All right, now let me tell y'all. That is brand new. This is what they do at Land of Oz. They build arcade games. It looks like it came straight out of the 80s. That thing is brand new. And Ryan Broderson, it has 1,300 games on it. 1,300 games. This isn't for me. I'm not special. They sell these every day. They make these incredible dartboards and other things at their store. It's a cool local business with a great story. That one in particular, though, with the finished basement, everybody. All right. I don't have anything else to say except thank you for watching, and thanks to our great guests, Joe Wieskamp, Iowa Hawkeye, and Brett Olson, Executive Director with the Muscatine Community Y. Hawkeye Camp, July 8th through the 11th, and, of course, David Casas, the magic of David Casas. Don't miss his show this Friday at the Renwick Mansion in Davenport. And then you can see David Casas June 11th. That's a Tuesday at 10:30 in the morning and 1 p.m. School will be out. David Casas, Muster Public Library, Betty Collins. We'll have Betty on the show. We'll talk about that and more. Love the library, and it's great having David back. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. A lot of folks on Facebook this morning. And don't forget, this show will be on Muscatine Power and Water, Channel 5, at 7:30 and 10:30 p.m. Go Hawks. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Watching Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone.
Be very, very quiet. We're hunting wabbits.
We'll do it again tomorrow with more local guests from in and around the Muscatine community.
I'm trying to emote for the play that the alumni are putting on in Wilton this Friday, Saturday.
Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone on Facebook or via email, hyveetoday@gmail.com.